Hello everyone, you are watching Kalpavriksha Farms and I'm Kalpana. So, before we start, I wanted to share a little bit about my cottage garden dream, which was there for such a long time. Since I bought this property, I've always wanted to have a beautiful cottage garden. Because we had to take care of the vegetable patch first, and then we had to plant fruit trees. We had to have a farmhouse, we had to have a shed. So all these things that we had to do on the farm took precedence, and of course we spent all our effort, all the time and our energy in doing that, and it took us years to build that basic, you know, things that we needed to start off with a farm. So we did all that, and then of course we are now in that space. I am now in that space. It's 5 years into fifth year now, and I'm raring to get my dream come to fruition, and to see that dream alive. And not that I didn't try. I have to tell you that even during our process of building up the farm, creating the space that we wanted, vegetable patches, fencing and fruit trees and everything else, I did try, in between, to get in and start, having the small patches of flowers, but I failed miserably because many a times the choice of plants weren't right. What happens is when you start a garden, you know that first time when you're going to plant a flower garden, it's not going to be one of your best, and it's not going to be the vision that you had in your mind. So I had the same thing. I went in, I planted things that I thought would look beautiful, but some of them really thrived well on my farm, and they became so bushy and so overgrown that it became very, very, very difficult to manage, and that way, especially when it is very close to your home, right? And then there are a lot of bugs and critters, and there's a lot of other things, and it just spreads everywhere, and there is no room for the other plants to grow. So that happened, and then there were some of the plants which were, I think, a little high maintenance, and they never thrived well. So I had to understand what would grow well on my farm, and what are the plants and what is the space for them. So each plant has a different space. If you want it to grow wildly, it needs to have that space, and the places where I don't want a lot of things. So it took me at least so many years, 4 or 5 years, for me to even understand what I really wanted and where I really wanted it to be. And that, I have to tell you, my friends, that you are not going to be able to create a garden out of just open those beautiful gardening books and just recreate the garden. It's going to be, and that too, if you're going to be somebody like me who wants to do everything by myself. I'm not getting any landscapers to my farm, I'm not getting anybody. I'm planning it on my own and bringing things what I want on my farm. So I had a particular vision of having these pastel shades of those English roses, or maybe some beautiful lavender colors. So the first thing was, of course, as always, to find the flowers, find those greens, whatever I wanted, and I wanted a beautiful layered cottage garden style look. And there was this winding pathway that we have in front of our farmhouse, and I first wanted those pathways to have the winding pathway to have the beautiful colorful blooms on both sides. And so I made a list of things. I wanted some yellows, I wanted some reds, of course, I wanted some purples and pinks, white. I love white. And so first things, again, I made a list of things that I wanted, and then we had to visit a couple of nurseries to pick up those plants and then start my plantation. So I will take you along and show you what we did and how I picked up the plants and how we brought it to the farm and what we have done. Come along with me. I will take you along and show you how we started on our flower patch. when you start your garden, please do understand that your garden is going to keep evolving as it goes, right? Year after year. You know, my garden is not going to look like this in a year or in the next 3 or 5 years, right? It's definitely going to evolve, and my tastes are going to evolve. I might want to grow something new. So the same thing applies to you. So do not ever think that this is the first time you have planted something. However it grows, and that's it. That's the end of it, and that is all that you can do in your space. So take heart that your garden is going to continue to evolve, and you're going to continue to learn. So make sure that your garden gives you joy, and surround yourself with beauty. Pick the plants that really, you want to see them around, right? Sure, you will get the garden of your vision very soon. So thank you for coming along. I'm sure you are going to take some inspiration and create a small garden for yourself, which will bring you joy every day. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon with another episode where I'm going to be creating some more patches on my farm, and I'll take you along too.